Welcome to More For Me by yours truly, Kat Necole. What up, homie? What's going on? Welcome to the studio. It's a privilege and an honor to have you here today, whether this is your first time or your 53rd time. You hear that? 53 episodes in. So you know what that means? Today is a special day, not like any other day. It's our anniversary. You see how I blessed you with just talking that out and not singing it? You're welcome. It's our anniversary, guys. Today, it marks 1 year of More For Me by yours truly, Kat Necole. That is so exciting. I'm truly excited about it, but it also means that today's my birthday, guys. Literally today is the celebration of life for your girl Kat here. Started the podcast, the company on my actual birthday. It was pretty interesting. To roll it out. And it was like, guys, I don't really celebrate my birthday, but this year you want to tell me happy birthday? Check out my podcast, check out my company. And that's how I rolled it out. And legit, I'm warming up to celebrations. I used to celebrate some time ago, but somewhere in between the present and the past, I was like, I'm straight. I don't really need that. Let's just keep it moving for myself and for other people. What if we do nothing and today's just a regular day, not a special day like that song Tony blessed us with? Like, what if it's just a regular day? So I'm kind of became, not became. What's a became? Not sure. Did you catch that? But I kind of became pretty much not. I wouldn't say a Grinch. That's a bit harsh. Yeah, that's harsh. All right, let's keep it moving. But yeah, so I didn't realize at the time that I just kind of began to warm back up to celebrating thanks to this great idea. Like, why don't I launch on my birthday? That's a great idea. But one of the things that we've been talking about here, if you've been journeying with us for any length or amount of time this past year, slowing down has been a major theme, right? There are a lot of reasons why I've encouraged us to slow down, and I kind of went through like the benefits of slowing down. One of the things specifically that connects with this special day today is slowing down so that we can celebrate. There are a lot of sayings that you hear, whether it's in leadership, development, or working with your toddlers, which technically as a parent, you are a leader. But like, so really big in leadership development, you celebrate what you want to see. And you will hear like elementary school teachers and so on, or preschool teachers kind of talk about this, right? Where they redirect people. So it's not like, hey, that's bad, don't do that. It's say, hey, why don't you do this instead? So it's that redirection, but then also celebrating the good that they see. Think about like potty training, like, yay, you went to the potty, versus getting really upset when they have an accident or something like that, because you want to see more of going to the potty versus having accidents. And the same goes for us. We want to celebrate what we want to see more of. And you can do that with other people, but it's something that we should also do with ourselves. But for me, I found that the pace that I moved at in life was very, very fast. And I'm that checklist person. Like, I'm trying to get stuff done. I want to be productive. Like this list, I get through this, productive, success, boom, I'm on to the next one. But that, like I said, that cadence, that pace, it didn't really allow for me to experience every aspect of life. And I definitely know now that there were things that I was missing out on. So in this season, it's been a lot about slowing down and shifting my perspective and my mindset about what productivity actually is. And what I'm supposed to be getting out of life, right? Because I'm now a believer in the process. And when you slow down and make the time to reflect, to take in the moments, then there are a bunch of things that you can do. One of those things is celebrate. But you can realize the good. Probably it's been more than a year, but for me personally, and even like it's a huge part of the show here, that everything that we're presented with in life is an opportunity for us to become a better version of ourselves. So whether it is good or bad, there's still reflection and an opportunity to become better. So when I look at good stuff and when I look at not so good stuff, I literally can slow down. And when I look, I might actually find some good. And whenever I see good, I know there is God. And so I'm slowing down enough to find the good so that I can see God. And once I acknowledge him, now I can give him the praise, the glory, and the honor that he is due. And so that brings us right back to celebration, right? I am praising God, worshiping, celebrating that moment. And then even in that, I might even add myself, because sometimes I need a little pat on the back. So not just being thankful, but hey, Catherine, good job doing this thing or that thing. I had a couple of things that happened this week where I'm like, this is pretty cool. Kat's making some progress where I was able to literally put out something that was unfinished. It wasn't perfect and polished the way that I wanted it to be, but I went ahead and said, you know what? I'm going to release this thing from my hands and it's going to be okay. And it doesn't sound so big, but I am known to hold on to stuff until it is my version of right and meets my expectations, which could mean that it gets held back for longer. It may get thrown into the vault, never to be seen by anybody, and or the stresses and anxiety of life they make me an unpleasant person because I'm working and focusing so hard on that thing. But to be able to do that, I could enjoy moments more that were available to me. Have some friends in town and being able to take a step back, slow down and say, you know what, in terms of priorities, I want to fill my cup, engaging in this relationship and connecting with them, and being able to literally enjoy the moment in those times because I just slowed down and I could see and know that there's something more even in those moments when I get off of my exhaustive to-do list that's always around. But literally making the time to celebrate. And so we also take a turn. And one of the other things I was thinking about this week is that I just noticed like a lot of birthdays this week. And I mean, there's no more days in August this year than in any other, but it seemed like a lot of people were celebrating their birthdays this week. Maybe it's because I'm paying more attention on social media, or I don't know, maybe I'm just paying attention, right? It's kind of like that. You say you want a miniature pincher, and now everywhere you go, you're like, why am I seeing these miniature pinchers everywhere, right? You focus on it and you begin to see it. So I noticed a lot more celebrations this week of birthdays, but then also there were a lot of celebrations of life where people were transitioning to eternity. And so you have all these celebrations going on. And with my birthday coming, really made me think like, am I doing my due diligence in celebrating life? Now, the moments, and appreciating what I do have, not just by way of my own life, the breath in my lungs, but also the people that I get to spend time with, and that the things and the people, the relationships that God has given me to steward. How am I doing with that? And that's been definitely a heavy reflection point for me this week. I kind of mentioned it with friends that were here, right? That's part of my stewardship and enjoying, celebrating, and what I just said. But I want to then flip that to you and challenge and encourage you to do the same, right? Self-awareness is the best awareness. And so make the time. Don't take the time, right? Because like, I don't have the time. Time is there. You just have to make it, right? So make the time to really sit and think, how am I doing with celebrating? Am I navigating life slow enough? Is my pace allow for me to experience the process, the journey, or am I just trying to rush through it, right? Am I at that point where I can stop? I won't say smell the roses, but can I stop and acknowledge God in whatever it is that I'm in? Good or bad, he's with you. Can you see him? Are you seeking him? And once you do that, you can acknowledge him so that you can praise and thank him. Because sometimes it's just that he kept you. Sometimes the pain or the pothole that you run into on the road, on your journey here, the journey of life that is, it seems real bad, but you might actually need to thank him for removing a thing from you, right? So what's the good that you can see, that you can be thankful and grateful for, because all good things come from God. So we want to make sure that we are connecting that to the source and acknowledging, and then making sure that you're celebrating yourself. I at times want to push to do so many things that, again, that pace, that cadence, I don't acknowledge what I've done. So even if I'm moving slowly, one of the things that I have been encouraged to do, I can't remember what podcast I was listening to, but I heard it and I was like, this is really dope. And that's at the end of the day, because at the beginning of the day, you start with a to-do list. And whether it's short or as long, you have this to-do list. And then at the end of the day, the encouragement was to write down the things that you did. Because, sometimes you don't tackle things on your to-do list, but you get things done. And so at the end of the day, if you write down what you did, it's sort of a way to remind yourself that you, like, what happened in a day, what you did accomplish, what was the good. It's the way to slow down and to reflect and to have that thing to celebrate. So find a way, find your thing, find your groove, make the time to reflect, to ensure that you are looking for the good, the opportunity to become a better version of yourself. Not only that, but the opportunity to thank God and be appreciative of what you've been able to accomplish. Sometimes it's literally, I've been able to maintain my peace throughout the day. I was gentle when my husband said so-and-so, like I was gentle in my response, right? So sometimes it's just the little things. And for some people, that's a big thing. For me, sometimes that could be a big thing. But whatever it is that you're trying to do, that there is celebration. So as we look at this 1 year of More For Me and the 38th year of my life, awesome. But as we look at these things, they're moments of celebration. But then I also realize that I am looking forward to not just my next birthday, but the days in between 808 and 808. Because those are going to be so many opportunities, so many moments to celebrate, to be able to acknowledge the growth and evolution with the company, with me as a person, my family, and hopefully even you, that you guys would leave me a rating or shoot me a DM. There are ways in the show description of how you can connect with me to share how you're celebrating, what your journey towards the destination more that God has for you, what that looks like. Connect and let me know, and let's share those moments of how we're celebrating, but also how we're progressing towards more. They're not always going to be good, but you are still moving towards that destination of more, even as life throws these challenges your way. So on this 8th day of August, thank you for stopping by to hang out with the homies and I here on the Homieship. Again, it's always a privilege and an honor. And I can't wait to be back here in this same space, same mode, same time next week, because God has more for me. God has more for you. Now let's get it. Take care.